Oh, hello, everyone. Happy Sunday. And thank you for joining us with Word on the Curb and Brandi Jenae as we talk
Hello,
about
hello,
a
hello.
recap, the week's hot topics.
Mm-hmm.
So we got quite a few. We're trying to, get them down to just a couple of things. But first, we want to acknowledge the loss of and Roberta Flack and then Angie Stone.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Rest in paradise, Queens. We know that Roberta Flack, she passed away on the February 25th the 24th at age of 88, and Angie Stone passed away in an accident on yesterday, March the 1st, at the age of 63. You have
Yeah,
anything to
sad
say about
to
that?
hear. Two legends, of course. It's funny, Angie Stone, when I got saw that news on Instagram, I immediately thought back to at least what introduced me to Angie Stone, which was No More Rain, right?
Yeah. Uh-huh.
And my cousin, I remember, it's so vivid because she would play that song every single day, and I remember loving it. Like I had to be about maybe 17 or 18. I think that was 98. That summer,
Mm-hmm.
like say it was the summer I graduated high school.
Yeah.
And like I said, my cousin played that song every single day. Every time I go up to her house, she playing that song. We singing, and we just fell in love with that song. Fell in love with Angie Stone. Of course, from that moment, then as her career kind of grew, I learned more about her being in the industry prior to my introduction. But I always thought she was very talented. Love a lot of her songs, Brother, just on and on and on. So just sad to hear about that, and the accident, so tragic.
Yes. And today I found out a couple things about Angie Stone. I didn't know that she actually sang the Girlfriends
Yeah.
theme song. I did
Mhm.
not know that.
Now, so I knew some of those things well because that was more current, at least for me, and because I liked her, I did follow her career. I watched on R&B divas, or follow what I could at in terms of what we had. But yeah, girl, that girlfriend's my girlfriend.
I was like, oh my goodness. I liked, that was one of my favorite shows,
Oh
Girlfriends.
yes.
Girl,
Listen,
yes, honey.
story. I told my mom, so my mom was telling me about this show on Tubi called A Long Way Home, something
Uh-huh.
like that. Okay, Tyler Perry did this show, and it came on TLC sometime way back when, maybe too early 2000s, something like that. Has 2 seasons, 2 short seasons. So she said, "I'm going back. I'm gonna rewatch it." She said, "But doggone, I remember liking it, But she said they canceled it. So like after this second season, she like, I'm gonna just be where I was at in the first place." So I told her, I said, "Well, honey, at least you got the end of the season." Because I said every time I go back and watch Girlfriends, I get pissed all over again when I get to that last season.
What part used to piss you off, girl?
The fact that it just ended abruptly. The
Yes.
last episode is like, hello, like, who? Did you forget that we was waiting on the rest of this? Hello. And so that's what I'm like, and I do it. I haven't rewatched Girlfriends in a while at this
Yeah.
point, but that was definitely one of my comfort shows. That,
Yes.
Ugly Betty, and The Office.
Yes. Here we go. Let it play a little bit here.
Mm-hmm.
To go from a soul singer into my girlfriend, to go there. There was a run that I do on the song that they started to write the show to. And when they started to write, they realized, shoot, honey. So when she was talking about it, I'm like, oh, I did not realize it because I was today years old, 53. months that she actually sang that, because it, to me, it really doesn't sound like her.
I think so.
You think so? And so I guess I'm used to her singing a different kind of way, and I now probably when I hear it, I'll think of her. But girl, I watched that show over. My mom just started watching it. I think it was late last year, girl.
Yeah.
And she was like, "Well, how did it end? And what happened here? What?" And then they tease us with maybe they might do a revamp of the show.
Girl, I think what I would like, and this is kind of a throwback, but interesting enough, I don't necessarily prefer this person as a celebrity. But being Mary Jane, I really appreciated the way they did her final episode where it was like a movie. And so I kind of would like for something like that with Girlfriends. Like maybe they don't have to do an actual reboot and have an actual show, but maybe it can just be like a mini series, 2-3 episodes, or 1.5 hour, you know what I mean, type of deal where you kind of just get a wrap up. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
We deserve that as Girlfriend fans. We deserve that. Now I don't know who is in charge of it, but we deserve it. Hey Alexa, play Mama D. I deserve. Okay.
Because I was like, oh my God. I'm telling you, I truly enjoyed that show. But see, I was hooked on Girlfriends. Not really. I watched it a little bit while it was actually airing, but I kind of got stuck in one of those kind of watching it, after the fact.
Like the syndication.
Yes. And then, girl, but my show was The Game.
Yeah, I watched them both, and I watched them both in real time. So that's why
I watched The Game in real time.
I am giving a pray for the fans that was watching real time, because you know what, if we go back to that time, the reason why it ended so abruptly was because of the writer's strike. During this season, they was coming in and I think writing their own episodes. So the viewership was like crazy anyway, as far as going down. But we were still holding on. And I believe as that episode ended, you know how they would take those little breaks like during award seasons or whatever. That's kind of how that happened. It just never came back when it was supposed to come back on. And so, like I say, as a person who was you waiting for the next week to come and the show will come on, and then you like, wait a minute, it ain't coming on. And it never did. That was 14, 15. I don't even know. Longer than that, that might have been about 18, 20 years ago.
Girl,
we are still mad. That's what I'm saying, honey. My prayers to the girlfriend friends who was watching real time, and my prayers to the ones who catch on it afterwards, because you're gonna be left. We all are. Join the club, honey. Welcome to the girlfriends.
Yeah, because honey, I was like, my thing was The Game, really. And then when they brought The Game back, then I was mad when they got Derwin off. Derwin and Melody. I'm like, what?
Yeah, I did. I enjoyed The Game. I'm not sure. I mean, I watched the reboot of The Game, and but I'm not sure if I did like it as much as just the original.
Yeah, no, I didn't like it as much as the original. No. I didn't. It didn't hit the same way. And I just it didn't. Yeah, because then did they have the? I don't. Did they have on the revamp of it? Did they have the laugh tracks on there? I don't think so.
I'm not sure. I don't think so either.
It seems like the reboot was more like a drama.
Yeah.
And the other one was more like a comedy,
You're right.
a sitcom.
You're right. You're right.
Yeah. So then I was like, But I like when they took off during them, I was mad.
Yeah, I agree. It sucks when you get used to like those characters going back to Girlfriends, like we just was left hanging, you know what I mean? Like with these characters we had grown to love.
Yes. Yeah. So yeah, R.I.P. A Rest in Paradise to
Yes, and
Angie
to the
Stone and
legendary.
Roberta Flack.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, Roberta Flack, she had, countless hits and songs that we all sang as kids. And then when we got grown, you had Lauryn Hill singing a song. And
Yeah, that's how I was introduced to Roberta Flack. So I had this knack for, because I think I am an old soul naturally. But so especially growing up in the 90s, I'm an 80s baby. And so as the music started to sample a lot of music, I
yeah,
would kind of go and find out about the original song, go listen to it, if it was something I hadn't heard, which in this case it was. So I was introduced in a way by Lauryn Hill, with her releasing her single and finding out that it was a remake. And then I had to go and find out, well, let me hear what this remake is. And it's like, okay, go ahead. So, and from there, understood other songs that I had heard and didn't, didn't know at the time that was her. So Berta Flack, songwriter also, right?
yeah,
And so yeah, I think a great career, great songs.
yeah.
Yeah, we're gonna.
I
Hmm?
didn't realize she was that old because she was 88. And
Yeah.
also, I'll Be Sure on his first album, he actually sang the same song.
Okay, I didn't.
Yes, that came out when I was like in 10th grade, girl.
Okay. Okay.
The one that has Day and Night on there. But yeah,
Mm-hmm.
remade that song actually before Lauryn Hill did it.
Okay. I had no
So
idea.
so yep, it's on Albie Shore's first CD.
Mm-hmm.
So
And
yeah,
this is why we appreciate it, but you just give credit. And I think back in those days, maybe I think we corrected some of those things. But this is why sometimes we want artists to sample older um, artists, because yeah, we want to be able to have that longevity and kind of
exactly.
be able to, remind the newer generation of where something, started. And, yeah.
Exactly, because that's why I was telling my grandkids about Swabble Up. That's my jam by Kendrick Lamar because hey, I was one of them kids that used to be in the skating rinks, and they said when I hear music, that Debbie Deb honey used to hit. Now I didn't know she was a white lady till I seen her like last summer on Facebook. They were doing like an old school concert in California, and she came. I said,
Hmm.
"Oh, that's who." I said, "Well, that makes sense." But yes, girl, girl. They played that drum even when my daughter was going all night skating. They still was pumping that jam
Yeah,
in
well,
there.
skating music is what it is. So I feel
Yeah.
like if you're a skater, you're gonna hear. I know for us, it's the JBs. I always talk about the James Brown songs, tunes. That's what we love to skate to. And
Mm-hmm.
funny enough, my son was having a conversation just last night about how he started going out downtown Chicago, and he wanted to experience the house music. He wanted to go hear the house
Oh,
music and see what we're talking about. I want to see what they was doing, what they was talking about. I said, well, I guess you had to be there, son. Like, because listen, I don't know if you're gonna get
see,
that
that's one thing.
recreation.
Yeah, one thing here where I'm from, house music was not big. So
Mm-hmm.
when I actually went, what I went to go see, I went to see, oh God, what's her name? Leela James and
Mm-hmm.
Eric Roberson and right there in Gary. And they was playing, the DJ was playing all this house music, and me and my husband was looking like, what's this? Only song we recognized was Percolator. I said, well, you could
Mm-hmm.
tell their culture was a little different than what we're used to.
Mm-hmm.
There's like, y'all
Mm-hmm.
from Indiana? I said, but we closer to Ohio. So we,
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
but,
more central. Mm-hmm. And
so
not
I'm like,
there's
I've
more
never,
still Midwest in a sense. I would think. I don't know. That's the way I
uh-huh.
describe it. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah,
Yeah,
but I
but
was like, girl, honey, they was all up there playing all that old school. They were just dancing. I was like, I've never heard not one of these songs in my life.
but listen, Kendrick
I mean, but
Lamar
it was
really kind of gets on my nerves. I don't know what song. Oh, that's the way I like it, right? And you know, he samples DeBarge. Now, DeBarge, honey, has always been my jam. I love me all of the DeBarges, baby. The DeBarge group,
girl,
Young DeBarge, like all of it. Give me DeBarge, L DeBarge, all of it. That man can still sing.
girl.
Saw him about 3 years ago, honey, and the doggone sound was messing up on him. He got on that computer, he got on that piano, y'all, and just sang a cappella because the doggone mic went out. I think even did the speakers go out? No, I think it was just the mic. But yes, he got on that piano and sang anyway and sounded
Girl, did you see
amazing.
did you see there's a documentary that's going to be
Oh,
done with
I saw a
girl
preview.
that hurt my heart to see that.
It really did, you know, because thank God with El DeBarge, you know, we know we've heard about his struggles through the years. And, you know, unfortunately, the whole DeBarge family has, you know, really had
Yes.
a bad history with drug addiction. But you know, I say when I saw him perform, like, ooh, you know, praise God that he doesn't look like what he's been through, and that he still can sing. But for what we saw in that documentary, oh boy, still got it in him too, and he was singing on the "I Like It" track, right? He sang the lead. That's right.
Yes.
But yeah, that song.
Yes.
And he started saying, "You gonna call me like you said you was, baby? I'll be ready." Like, yes. And then here goes Kendrick Lamar.
Yes, honey.
That song shouldn't do me like that. Because any DeBarge fans, drop down in the comments. I'm telling you, y'all know y'all be ready to throw the phone away. Like, oh no, you didn't. No, you didn't. Play my DeBarge right now.
But I know that's right, girl. But yes, when I saw the documentary, the little clips from it, I said, "Oh my Jesus!"
Yeah.
And someone was saying, they were saying, "Well, maybe somebody should do this, that, and the other." And someone was like, "No, their problem is they are drug addicts, and wouldn't matter, you know." But you know, like set up, something for them. But I'm like, oh my God. I mean, it was just
this is a great segue into Miss Karen Huger.
Yes, honey.
Speaking of.
Girl, what do you think about the grand damn drunk?
The grand damn drunk. I love it. I love it. We really should start a hashtag with that. Yeah, the grand damn drunk. We actually should get some t-shirts made. Listen, we about the grand damn drunk. Yes, let me put this in the chat, honey. The grand damn drunk. That is the hashtag. We are going to get t-shirts made because that is who Karen will be known as from here on out. Grand damn drunk. Okay.
Girl, I'm like, girl, Karen Huger.
Well, before we get all the way into it, let's see. Let me ask you this. Did you get a chance to listen to any of the audio from the courtroom?
I was about to play it.
Okay.
And I'm pretty sure it's the audio. Hold on, girl. I called myself saving it. Hold on. Is it? Hold on. Lord, I thought but maybe I didn't, but I heard some of it and how she apologized. Okay, maybe this is it here. I'm gonna play it.
I said that wrong. Let me take that. No, the grand damn drunk.
Your Honor, I want to apologize for taking this case to trial, but I also want to thank you for allowing me to have the trial. I think it was the mirror I needed to take a hard look at myself and the direction I was headed in. I think my prior cases, I showed up to court, followed the advice of my lawyers, got the case resolved, and went my way. I like to think I took the cases seriously, but this certainly has been such a much different experience for me. An experience that demanded that I take a look at myself, truthfully. I think for many years I was putting a band aid on some personal history that was leaving me very unhappy. It is possible that just like taking daily medication for high blood pressure and cholesterol, I just thought medication for depression and anxiety was something that came with the territory of getting older and having more responsibilities and more to worry about. And certainly there was a sense of entitlement that I should be allowed to keep on consuming alcohol. I have been successful. It's been 15 years since my last DUI. Why should I give up the social indulgence? Well, this case is why. Drinking responsibly, especially while taking medications, mean not drinking at all. I failed at that miserably. I understand how lucky I am that I hit a tree. Thank God I did not hit a pedestrian. In recovery, I was told of a young man named Kevin who hit a tree when he was 17 years old. Kevin was in a coma for 30 days. Kevin is now permanently brain damaged and his life will never be the same. I asked God, why not me? The only answer I could up with was that I was spared because I have a responsibility to use my unique optic lens and teach others and affect quite possibly millions of people with the message of not drinking and driving. I understand better the brutal clarity of the fact that when you're behind a car driving, you're not just driving for yourself. It's my responsibility to make sure my community members make it to their destination safely as well. I want to thank the officers who came to my assistance that night and apologize for my attitude back on March 19th. They were truly professional and gracious toward me at a time when I was not. The body cameras definitely prove that they were right and I was wrong. I should have handled the situation differently. Your Honor, I have a lot on my plate now, but I understand this is all for a very good reason. I will not let you down. I will not let my community down. I will follow through on everything I am currently doing to maintain my sobriety and everything you ordered me to do. And I can assure you that AA is going to remain a part of my life for the rest of my life. I will graduate out of programs, probation, and interlock terms will end. But I know that the relationships that I'm creating with AA could and should and will last a lifetime. Those relationships are the greatest offer that I can offer you of my terms of sobriety and success. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Yeager. I appreciate your comment.
Well, child.
So, I found it interesting that she said, I asked God, like, why not me? And I'm thinking, he, like, as I just was saying in my previous video, speaking about Karen and her sentence to 2 years, we are looking for some form of accountability. And I'm listening to what she's saying. And not necessarily wanting to pick it apart, but just listening for her realization of, putting herself in what she's caused to happen to her own self. And it seems like we still kind of, talking about her leadership position, and I'm thinking, when it comes to reality TV, even though somebody probably does come in, ask you and scout you out and everything, I mean, if there's too much, you have the opportunity to walk away. So it felt like a bunch of excuses in
Yes.
even her statement. And it's another, like, just a disappointing thing to hear come from Karen. It feels like she really, like I stated in that video, go look at the video, guys. But it's like you had the expectation of really having a slap on the wrist because that had been your experience. I don't think she had any, she believes her own delusions, and that's a
Yes.
dangerous person to kind of be in relationship with in any way, in a sense, because you have to live in their reality. Um, and I'm sure that's kind of difficult for people, because that would probably mean that people, like how I've listened to people kind of say Ray should have done something and this and that, but it's like Karen is grown and very grown at this point because she's in her 60s. So, there's no argument about how grown she is. You know what I mean? And so, no,
Yes.
nobody can do something about that out. And so, and that's what we're seeing. I think, everything has its consequence, and like as the old folks say, what's done in the dark comes to the light. So all of
Yes.
this is kind of evidence of something that's going on with Karen anyway, that she wasn't bringing to the light. Maybe her own husband didn't know. She could be a closeted drunk, even though we're not saying that she is, because the people on the show clearly been trying to tell us for years.
Because what was that? It was I think it was at Monique's. Did Monique have something in a cabin or something once, and Karen got like sloppy drunk?
Yeah, with the fireball.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I knew then.
And let me tell it, that's an alcoholic's drink right there. Let me tell it, that's what I'm gonna say about that. That in 1800, and not any vodka, but maybe like the Grey Goose vodka, But anyhow, but but yeah,
I just thought I just, like you said, she thought she was gonna get a slap on the wrist, walk her ass right out of that courtroom. Thought maybe probation. Maybe she even thought worst case episode, maybe house arrest. Honey, I know
whatever she thought she was going home to get her stuff together that day.
And so she could turn herself in later.
What she was thinking is they was gonna clank her right then and there, like, oh no, ma'am, you're not, no ma'am, no ma'am. And that's what I was saying this in the video also, is that I am really of the thought process, and this may not mean much, but she probably doesn't have any affairs in order. Like, she should have an account manager for her Instagram, the things that she is monetized, so she can still keep that going. Have some way to do the gen shop. You know what I mean?
Yes.
But hey, maybe at the same time, with her using the leadership role as her, reasoning for not really thinking that antidepressants wasn't supposed to be mixed with alcohol. You're 60 years old.
Girl, her big age, she knew better.
Listen, girl, we don't have time for the games. And girl, that's exactly what on the bottles. Told her in so many words with his tongue lashing. It's like, I don't have time for your games, girl. You're going to have a whole year to think about it. Now, what do we think? Drop down in the comments, guys. If you're watching, let us know, what do you think about Karen's 2-year sentence? Do we think she will serve the full 2 years? Do we think that there's a great possibility that she would only serve some of that time?
They said because she'll get like good behavior if she does have good behavior. Someone had broken down. I think it was I was watching Sherelle's World, and what is that lady's name? Marcella Speaks was on Sherelle's World, and they were talking about the sentence. And I think Sherelle and not Sherelle, but Marcella and Karen knows each other, and they were just breaking down how they thought the sentence may go. and she was talking about like, you know, the good behavior and all the different time cuts she can get from that. So I go, oh yeah, so she probably wouldn't do the whole year because she has a year sentence, and then she has a year suspended, and then all those other things, 5 years probation, and she can't drive for a year. I said, shit, she'd be damn near 70. She probably won't be driving, you know. And I just think that I don't know, she should have took the plea, or she should have took it this far, I think. And also they said that Potomac's going to be filming, I think, here soon in May.
Yeah, they did say that they were filming without her. What do y'all think about that? I'm gonna give me a second so I can see about going live on my TikTok page really quick. I should have had that set up first, but we want to get some more
feedback.
Yeah, feedback, some more, you know.
Y'all come out the bushes, talk to us.
Okay, come on, let us know. But you know, even with the good behavior, you know, I don't imagine she's going in there and being a problem child. Like I don't imagine that. But you know, I'm still going back to this drug and rehab thing, like program and stuff. You know, it kind of go back again to what the judge was saying, even in his statement before sentencing her. It's like you had these opportunities. So I'm finding it hard to believe that at this point you somehow will come to some different, you know, conclusion. Now, granted, I guess that is the hope, and what it is we are looking for. But I just know a person for their works, and what I'm saying is, if we've seen this play out throughout this year, the way that it has in the small scope of what we've been able to see, which is knowing what happened, seeing her film, seeing that transpire, and then subsequently the sentencing, the conviction, and then the body footage, the body cam, excuse me, and now the sentencing, and in each and the reunion, there's a statement there in the reunion, you know what I mean? So there's all of these opportunities to have remorse.
Yeah.
You know, again, going back, I don't think I finished that thought. Sorry, guys, if that I do that sometimes. I kind of say one thing and then another thought come out.
Me too. Me too. I think that's just women.
Right, yeah. But, you know, going back to what I was saying about that statement too, because it's saying, well, I asked God, why not me? Well, that's kind of selfish. Why didn't you kind of look at that and have that that eye opener to say, thank God, you know what I mean? Like it could have been me, you know, like, oh, you know, and so you have that awakening. See, like I ask God, why not me? You know, it's kind of this victim thing about, oh, you know, like, because what do you mean, girl? You know, like, what do you mean? You know what I mean? Like, who has an opportunity to walk away from that unless you trying to, you know, do something, tell us something else, which again is kind of the victim thing. You know what I'm saying? And so, yeah, Karen, you know, just a disappointing, you know, just thing to have had to experience with her. Let's say people go through these things and they get to do them privately. You know, this is public. You are the grand dame. And so we all talking about it. We all talking about it.
Yes, we are. And so you think that maybe once she's done with her sentence and she has sat down a while, do you think she's going to come out with a book? Do you think she may come back to Real Housewives of Potomac?
You know, I think that's sorry.
Yes, I just wonder, you know, I hate that this is happening to her this late in life, especially when she has an elderly husband, because you just don't know, you know, nobody's granted. We don't know when our demise is going to happen. But God, dog,
I'm telling you,
this is, you know, that is terrible, you know, to be in this kind of situation. And I wonder where they're going to send her to.
I know that it was that they said it on the judge on the judge statements when he did read his sentencing. He did say it, but I believe it was a county jail. I think she's not going to like a prison. And even with this, if it was prison, it wouldn't be like a federal prison, so it wouldn't
No,
be
yes, it'd be
anything
state.
close to what Martha Stewart or even
I heard jail is
Teresa
worse.
or Jen Shaw. It wouldn't even be close to either what either one of them did. Um,
For what I always was told, being I got many family members that have been up the way. They said jail is worse because at least when
yeah,
you're in
I've
prison,
been told that also. Yes.
yeah, you just sit down at the county. So that's like hell.
Yeah,
So
my brother had
if she
said
went,
that because he has his own, situation, and yes, same. And no matter where you are, I've heard that all across the board.
yeah. So I'm like, well, I just would hate to
I
be.
mean, we gonna pray for her. She ain't got her wigs. I know we like to joke about her not having her wigs.
Yes, Lord
Um,
Jesus.
but it is what it is. She's doing what she doing now. She where she at now. I've been thinking about it every day, though. I will say that because I'm just like, Lord, like I said, I just know she was not prepared to just go right back to the back. I'm wondering if she had even asked her lawyers. I wonder if they even like prepare, like kind of
Yeah,
said this to
because
her.
a lot of times, I thought most times they know, like when you're guaranteed to go into court, that the judges already kind of let the attorneys kind of know what's going on.
But aren't we used to maybe seeing some cases where they get sentenced and then they have to report?
Yeah, well, I know my uncle did. He was
I wonder if
he
the
got
difference
sentenced.
is,
The
I
attorney,
wonder if that goes back to maybe the actual, like whether it's federal or state, like that. Maybe that's the
my uncle was
difference.
state, and he
Oh,
was
okay,
but
okay.
yeah, he was state. He was a teenager at the time, but my grandma had spent out, I think, almost $86,000 on his everything. But yeah,
Give me 1 second. Let me tell everybody on TikTok what's going on because
all
I'm gonna
right,
try to check in with y'all comments. Okay, we are over on YouTube Live. Join myself and Word on the Curb. We are discussing some hot topics that happened this week and weekend. You can hit the YouTube link in my bio, or I have put it in the comment section. You are more than welcome to comment here if you have any questions or any comments you want to include. But I would love for y'all to come on over to YouTube and come and see this video so you can see my co-host, okay? But we're talking about Karen Huger. We're going to talk about a lot of other stuff. Right now it's Karen Huger, her sentencing. Let us know what y'all think. Do you think she's going to join back with Real Housewives of Potomac? How do we think she's going to do in her year in jail? Is she even going to serve the whole year? What is your prediction about that? So, okay, I'm sorry. Thank you so much. Make sure y'all subscribe, y'all.
yeah. So, I don't know. God bless her, and God bless Ray.
Now, can I say this, and not for nothing, because Ray is up in age,
Yes.
And like I said in that previous video, guys, I'm to like go ahead and subscribe to the channel so you can catch any of my other lives. But time, like I said, Steve Harvey on his show said this many years. He's probably repeated it a lot of times because it is true. He said this about himself, but I'm kind of referencing myself. But some of your biggest lessons in life are expensive. And not just in a financial way, but in the way of the time that it takes for you. This is about to cost Karen not just this year in jail, but really 7 years of her life.
Yeah.
About 8. You know what I mean? And so there is a hope that she comes to some type of realization for her own self good. You know, like as I said in that video, and I'll tell it to everybody, we of course we on this YouTube and on TikTok talking about this. She's a public figure. We love to watch Karen. This has been disappointing this season for many reasons. But she doesn't owe us anything. So she don't need to be accountable to any of us, you know. What we would like to see is just for her life and her health, whether she comes back to Real Housewives of Potomac or not. We want to see her be healthy. But only time will tell. And so this time, going back to Ray, my thought was, and not to be morbid, but you know, I hope that nothing happens to Ray during this time.
Yes.
He's up in age. And I mean,
Mm-hmm.
even just natural causes, you know, we know to our knowledge, he doesn't seem ill, and we don't know of any ailments that's going on with him. He seems reasonably healthy for his age, and thank God for that. But again, she's not gonna ever be able to get this time back. And we just hope that she doesn't lose any more than what she is already set. You know what I mean? To lose out
exactly.
in this time.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. But
Yes,
Karen, we don't be thinking about you, the Grand Dame drunk. Ain't that it? The Grand Dame drunk. Okay.
Damn drunk.
That's
Yes.
the new hashtag.
Somebody else said the drunk of Surrey County.
Yes, the drunk of Surrey County. Okay. The Grand Dame drunk. This is another question. Do we think Surrey County taking their key back?
I hope not.
Is Surrey County said gonna take that key back? Like, we don't want the likes of you representing Surrey County.
I don't know, because she was the Beyonce of that county, honey.
Well, they might say, come on down here. We only got one street. Right?
I don't know. So wait a minute. So do you think, since Karen's going to be gone and it's going to start back filming, you think they're going to bring back someone?
Now that I don't know. You know, I wonder who would that be. Candace would be a great person to bring back.
Yeah.
So if that is, do y'all want to see anybody come back in Karen's replacement? We know that they are going to film without Karen. I know we've had a lot of conversation about the difference in treatment with Karen's situation and some of the other housewives and their situation. I mentioned this on my previous live about Teresa. I think of her in this case because when we talk about ceasing filming and waiting on somebody to serve time and then picking up filming when they come back, that actually did happen with Teresa. But in all actuality, that show, Real Housewives of New Jersey, actually did, even though it was not meant to, it did revolve around Teresa, her family, and what was going on with them in the courts. And that was over a course of about 3 to 4 years. In for real, in actuality. So them ceasing filming and waiting on her to serve her year and a day to pick up filming, it was the right choice on that show. For this show, no, we can move on without Karen. She didn't give us anything even through all the way up until this point. I'm
afraid when she gets out, she's not going to give nothing.
And that's why I said it's okay for them to go ahead filming without them. And if they want to come and pick her back up when she get out and see what she got, you know, then I'm okay with that too. Like, I'm not necessarily saying that I'm done, like, get rid of her. But I do think that she probably needs a spanking. You know, and I think part of the spanking, now I can't say this about reality TV. I don't even know if I finished this thought on my last live, but I am a little tired of some of these reality stars kind of being rewarded for some of the bad behavior. And even though it's a reality TV show, we ask for, information in your real lives and what's going on. Sometimes maybe you just like because she was taking antidepressants for her leadership role. Never know, that might knock her down to a friend. But maybe you do just need to leave it alone and maybe just capitalize off the fact that you had been a housewife, and maybe you show up from time to time, somewhere. Like BravoCon or something, or
So she's gonna do like Sharice. So she's gonna be like a friend of like Sharice.
Then listen. I'm only saying because she's the one that said your leadership role kind of had you taking antidepressants. Like who, even as a company, who want to be responsible for that?
But what was her leadership role?
Well, I think she is talking about being pushed as one of the faces of Real Housewives of Potomac. I believe that is what she is speaking about. That it can't be nothing else. It just really can't be nothing else. What y'all think, honey? What y'all think? Make sure y'all like and subscribe. Well, y'all know what to do over here, but like the video.
Yeah, so she's believing her own hype there.
Well, I told you, she believes her own delusion. She's not just, and I guess, it's funny. Let's think about delusion for a minute, and then we can get on to our next comment. But I guess, listen. Now, if I ain't nothing, I'm gonna be a regular old somebody, Wendy Williams takeover. But we're gonna segue right into the next delusional story of Latasha Scott. But let's get it. Speaking of delusion, but with delusion, okay? Listen, everybody has to have a healthy dose of delusion, especially to be in some successful place, right? And especially when we're talking about public figures, reality TV, you want to be a famous singer. You want to, I'm going to use my own self. Like you want to have your own brow and lash suite, and you want to be successful at it, and you trying to build a beauty brand because you want to open up a beauty supply. Listen, you got to have a certain healthy dose of delusion. Now, delusion might mix its face also, so call it what you want, but there's a little healthy amount that you need in order to go in after these things, you know what I mean? Like, because, and you have to believe your delusion, right? You have to believe that what you're telling yourself you're able to do, you can do it. But it's a fine line. Like they tell you, it's a thin line between love and hate, it's a fine line. I think sometimes people cross it. And speaking of those people, that is Miss Latasha Scott, honey. Now you tell me what is going on with this lady. Now she done released a doggone song.
Yes, honey. Well, she's doing the what is the residuals challenge, okay?
Is that what
I'm gonna play? Girl, yes, it's a residual challenge. Tank started it. Now is everybody else been doing it. So it's been mostly men. I think she's the first lady to do it. So I'm gonna play it. I put like a little montage together of it, and then we'll take a deeper dive. But here we go.
Okay.
I hope y'all can see it. Shoot. Can you see it on your end?
Yes. Yes.
Okay, here we go. Give up on love. Let's start it back on. Had to give up on love. I gave up on love. Losing my sister was insane. Kicked out of my group and it's insane. Everybody in the media was tearing me down, down, down. I'm only human. Sis, you've got my word. We gonna have some words about the residual.
We got Tamika Scott on the phone, and she gonna talk to us about some of the things that are going on. Because I actually called her to make sure it was okay, to talk about this or whatever. So Tamika had a little something to say. So Meatball, good morning.
Good morning.
Hey, girl.
What up?
How are you? So
I'm good.
So tell me what your reaction is to this, because I called you. I was happy. I was like, everything's gonna be worked out. And you said,
you know what? My sister's voice is undeniable. You know, I always said that she was my favorite singer. She's gonna always be my favorite singer. She
Yes.
definitely ate vocally,
Yes.
but in real life, I think it's a genius marketing strategy for her new music. It really is. We haven't, talked. She hasn't called me. My number's the same. The address the same. So if this is real, sis, pull up. I'm cooking now. Pull up. Let's do breakfast.
So our residuals freestyle dropped yesterday. That was a little controversial. Can we expect an Escape reunion anytime soon?
I think she said it best in her. I think she addressed the issues with her personal life, or the issues with her family, and then us. She mentioned us a little bit. I feel like fix what's happening in the family, and then it could be a talk about what's going on with us. Because realistically, I thought it was a little untruth talking about you got kicked out. When you get kicked out, I don't know about that. I don't that didn't necessarily, that wasn't true. But I do think there was some issues that, some decisions on her part that made it to where, we ain't doing it, you know what I mean? So, yeah, it's kind of like, you said you didn't want to do no shows with us, so
We gotta get our money.
we just continue doing what we're supposed to be doing. And I think the stuff that's going on with the family is what made it hard to rekindle anything else. That's just my personal opinion, but it really ain't, whatever.
Candy said, no, whatever.
I mean, listen, she was getting long-winded anyway because it wasn't really that much to say about it. I didn't listen.
No.
I watched the Escape shows, Queens. I don't remember Queens of R&B, and it was
yes.
one before that also, right?
It was just kicking it when they was trying to get Candy to come back. Yeah.
Okay, yeah. So, listen. When we got done with that Queens of R&B and all of that stuff came out between her and her sister, like it really got really, really messy. And I feel like Latasha was just exposed as a liar.
Yes.
This was released, like I said, I don't even remember thinking I listened to it. I've listened to it at this point. But I do think that it's silly that you would have a song and for somebody who live in the same city with you, it's your sister. Like, yeah, it's like she just is doing anything. She need a check. I mean, I think that's what it is. She need a check. Well, I guess that's why
one thing
30,000, but
exactly. Tamika said 30,000 plus, and plus Tamika had to file taxes on that money that she never received. And the only way she could recoup that money was to actually prosecute her. But going back to the residuals challenge she did, she mentioned that basically her and Rocky was like separated or divorced. And then in the interview with the Brat on the Ricky Smiley show, Tamika said that is not true.
Listen,
they still together.
You know how I feel about this. Let people tell their own business, at least in that way. You know what I mean? Like if she says she is not with her husband, I don't know how if she like Tamika saying, well, he was over there last week. I mean, that is not going to tell me. I'm not going to go to her and fight her with what you said, even though the lady is a liar. If that's her lie, let her tell it. But
there's an interview that she did, I believe, after Tamika had spoke, and she said she actually, since Tamika has spoke, she spoke to Tamika, and they're good. And someone says in the comments, we need Tamika to verify it.
Now that, and that's what I mean. Like she can verify that, those things, and I'll believe that. But I don't know, like you ain't even got a relationship with the lady. I don't know if you can tell me if she with her husband or not. And maybe she is. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know. Y'all need to fix y'all stuff though.
Exactly.
Take us out the group chat.
Exactly. But
now,
I think
because I heard Escape did really well. Hey, Zara, tell us what you think.
They did.
You've been following the Tamika and Latasha Scott debacle, but listen, I love me some Escape coming up, and listening to Latasha can sing like her sister said. But I'm not checking for this high school drama or this high school
No.
musical. I'm really not. Y'all are like mid 40s, maybe even 50s. They might be. I don't
Yes,
know if they're
Tamika,
the
not
same age as me
Tamika,
or a little
but
older. Get it
Latasha
together.
is 50. I think she's
Yeah, get it together,
51.
ladies. Get it together.
Yeah.
It is time to fix something or move on. You know what I mean? Like again, going back to the time, we don't have time for this. So take us out the group chat. Figure out if y'all gonna go on another tour. And Latasha, call your sister if you want to talk to her. Call on the phone.
Yeah, they're doing something in March. And
Okay.
they're doing something in March. And I did go to the Escape concert this past summer with SWV. Awesome.
Oh, nice.
Honey.
Did you enjoy it?
I enjoyed every bit of it. It was great. I enjoyed SWV, and you really got to see how talented the other women were in that group. Because there's always been the saying, like, the other ladies were like Coco's backup. But Taj sang, and she sang something by herself. I was like, oh, she really has a beautiful voice. But the concert was put together very well.
Mm-hmm.
I think I came in on was it Total, and then anybody before them I missed, but it was a very good show. I mean, it was packed. I went to the one in Detroit. It was really nice. So but I don't know. I wish that Escape would get it together, because I like to see all four of them on stage.
Yeah, I mean, it's like, listen, the time is now. Okay, the time is now.
Yes, it is. Yeah, so that's all the news on the Lulu. Latasha.
Okay, Delulu, listen. Now, what's the next segue about getting it together? Now, who needs to get it together? That damn Dr. Heavenly. That's who needs to get it together.
Girl, Dr. Heavenly. Let me go on here and find her. She put her foot in her mouth again. Yeah, she put her foot in her mouth again.
I mean,
and
it's so funny.
She was on an apology tour.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
No, I was saying
on
it's
an
so
apology
funny
tour, honey, because they was.
Do we have a lag? We must be lagging.
I think so.
Okay, my bad. Go ahead, honey. Get us the intro.
No, go ahead.
Okay, no, I was saying it's so funny to use the verbiage, that she's put her foot in her mouth, because isn't like foot in her mouth and Dr. Heavenly is like, hey, when she speaks, she gonna put her foot in her mouth. Like that's why she say, I'm gonna say something and I'm gonna take it back. So going back to this selective outrage, like if nobody understood what selective outrage is, this is it. Because it's when you take something that a person doing that they have done before. That's not the first time Dr. Heavenly has went there. But because she wasn't, I guess, clear enough in what it is she was saying, nobody, took offense to it. Even though the very thing that she was saying, she's attacking a person with the intent to offend them about what their manhood is. So it's okay for her to do that to him, as long as she not offending this whole other group of people. Like, we got to stop that. What's right is right and wrong is wrong. Now, if you need to learn how to talk to people better, which that is her problem, she needs to learn how to do that across the board. Then that's what we need to be telling her. Because, of course, this apology. So I'm going to let you tell us what the apology is, because that's her MO. Of course, that was coming out. That's what she does. Apology and stick your foot in your mouth. Those the two devils on her shoulder. Like, you want to apologize or you want to stick your foot in your mouth?
But you remember she said when she apologized, she don't mean it. Most of the
But
time.
that's my point with that. What she had to say, we know that is a belief of hers. She believes that. And that's the reason why I'm saying that's not the first time she said that. She said it on the show. And like I said, maybe there's a verb she didn't use. That's what we are equating this down to. But what she was saying and those perceptions and things, that is what she meant. And she believes that's her part of her lifestyle. She believes that deep down inside. So she gonna say it again.
Yeah, I'm trying to
next
find
time
it,
it come
honey.
up. She gonna say it again.
Yes, because it was a live where she was talking last Saturday, and she was trying to be Team King and express how real men will how they would act about their partners or their spouses. And then when she said because soft or bitch ass or and she went on to say the alphabet people not like them, something to that effect, but a real man. So one I seen must have been a big social media go on to his I believe it was Twitter or something, and he talked about it first, and I think was it Bravo Shade Room or one of them picked it up. And so then everyone started, dragging her, and then some started dragging her, stating, how is she talking about us? And her son is one of us. And then some of the YouTubers that I had watched had told the people, like, look, whether y'all drag Dr. Heavenly or whatever, but her son had nothing to do with this, and he's never publicly came out and said anything about his sexuality. We're just assuming. And that's kind of it. And then, Dr. Heavenly, I think she apologized 3 times. Girl, I can't even find it real quickly, so I'm just going to get on for that. But she had came and tried to mend it. The other time she was I don't know, seemed very upset. I mean, well, I think it's just about the whole episode and talking to Quad all night or whatever. So she was distraught. But yeah, she used terms like that. And then Funky Dineva weighed in. And I love how Azara had put together a whole string of like all of her friends that are in that community and what they had to say. I'm like, girl, your research is great. And
okay, I gotta go check that out.
Yes, and
you gotta link that in the
yes, he put it together on a short, but it had like some of all the guys that worked with Dr. Heavily, some of the people she hung out with, some people she done actually interviewed her on their YouTube channel. So for the most part, I seen Rodney the Voice, who actually interviewed her too, and he talked about it, and he said, hey, it's not like we're friends, we just know these people from the show, and I did actually interview her, but he said how do you put it best? He's not surprised, I'm not surprised. She comes from that era, and they believe or equivalent someone's sexuality to not as manly. And, he went through and gave all his different points. And he said, do I believe she's, really homophobic? Or he said, no. He said, but I do believe that she needs to, she has her own beliefs, and she needs to, really like grow, And then Funky Dineva, actually, he talked about it also. And I guess some people were upset because he didn't really just drag her. But Rodney the Voice, he also said he didn't have to drag her in public. That's his friend. I'm pretty sure he talked to her behind. He said, because it's not for us. It's, she offended him. And he said on his live that she has said some things to him before, like if a man had called her a bitch, her husband would be upset and probably want to fight. But if one of the gays did, he probably wouldn't think too much of it because y'all not like real men or something, she said. And he's, sometimes, he pulled her aside.
I mean, if we had the time, we could go back through Heavenly's videos. Like literally, we don't even need him to, kind of verbalize that he's heard it come out of her mouth, because it's on YouTube, not like for sure. But it's one of these things where, and this is kind of annoying to me, and I think because my brain picks apart some things at times, maybe overthinks and stuff. So it's kind of like this thing. So like the issue with Dr. Heavenly, and even with this belief and being able to make those statements, the issue, and not just her, because I think that we see it all the time. Like we've seen it happen on Real Housewives of Atlanta. It happened on Love and Marriage Huntsville, where what women attack when it comes to men is that thing of masculinity. Thank you so much for the likes. I appreciate it. Listen, go subscribe to my YouTube channel. Okay, link is in the bio. But that's kind of the go-to. Same as, I know Funky Dineva has talked about this many moons ago, but same as with women. Women are going to attack the fact that they're single. Like, oh, you can't keep a man, or you ain't got a man. And then when it comes to a man, they attack their masculinity. And so with that, like, that's where, like, so Real Housewives of Atlanta, that's Nene calling Peter and switching it up to say, well, I didn't call you I said you were acting like one. That it doesn't matter if you called a person one or you said they was acting like one. What your point is that they're in some way not being as masculine as whatever it is your idea of being a masculine man is. And I think sometimes where there might be some slither of truth about why it is you are even engaging in a conversation with a man that involves these types of topics. But I think it's a better way to tell them about being in female business. Like, that is a better way to describe, like, well, maybe you meddling, maybe you kind of, have portraying feminine traits. You know what I'm saying? Like, because that's, to me, what that would be, the way that I see it, and in a respectful way, because you don't have to attack a person, because it's okay. Men, just like women, they come people, we come different in the way we come, the way, you know what I mean? So it's not okay to put a specific idea, you know what I mean, on a whole population. And it feels like that's a lot of what we fight about in different aspects, you know what I mean? But we forget about it because you pickling it apart and focused on one aspect of it. So that is the problem with Dr. Heavenly, is she thinks it's okay to come for men's masculinity, the same as what we tell men about coming, for women in certain ways. That's what she needs to have a come to Jesus moment about. And it doesn't matter who it is that's talking to her, if they happen to be in a community or not. Because again, look at what she's doing. She's attacking straight men by telling them that they're not acting like men. Mm-hmm. In the hopes that they would be so upset by that she would get a reaction from them.
So, but okay, some of the things I thought about as far as the selective outrage, like when some of the YouTubers that are gay that choose to refer to women as fish, but they were so outraged, they had a lot to say about what Dr. Heavenly said. I mean, like, if you say one, because Funky Dineva says it all the time. All the
Correct.
time. And one of the YouTubers, he had mentioned that, and he goes, by himself. He said, but he really didn't know what it meant. You know, he used to hear people say it all the time. I remember the first time I heard being referred to as fish by a gay guy, and I think I was in maybe in high school or something. I wasn't sure what it meant, but I think I knew what it meant, you know, because I was like, oh, he wish he was one. That's why I put it that way. But I think the flip side of that, I mean, if we try not to offend, hey, we need to do across the board. Because if you're out,
can we be honest to say, okay, now let me just clean this up, because I feel like the reason why you would agree with, I don't find offense to that term being used. I don't find it offense for cis or for fish. I really don't. And I'm gonna say the reason why is because like intellectually I understand, and so let's just say like, well, fine, but you know, like with women. So the offense would come in saying like, you trying to say I stink or something, like, you know what I mean? Because like, you might have a fishy smell. What the purpose of what they're saying to call it fish, and again, because of what a scent is supposed to be known as in a sense, but it's the actual acknowledgement of having a vagina, because if you don't have a vagina, then you're not fishy. You understand? Like, and again, but I get where like terminology would have you say, well, I'm fishy, no way. But all I'm saying is, when a person in that context, that is not what it means. It don't mean stinking. You know what I'm saying? It means you got a real pearl. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's what that is.
But they don't say it like
oh, well, see now maybe that's where I'm coming from, in a sense, like, where, because I've never had anybody call me that. It like in a personal setting, like I've watched Funky Dineva, I know his references, but I've not been in a situation personally where somebody is referencing me as a fish. But again, so I guess that's why I'm kind of like, it's just real technical for me. Like, as far
they
as
said it like derogatory, and I remember it was a group of us girls, and
I don't understand. But I don't know, how is it derogatory? I don't get it.
Because the way he said it was it was not like, oh, you know how like, okay, some people say bitch and they be saying like, bitch, enduring. But if I call you and say, hey, bitch, this, that. This guy, first of all, I didn't know them. We didn't know them. They were older. They looked like they were grown or something. And it was a bunch of us girls. And I don't know why they took offense to us girls. But they said, look at them fishes, like that. It wasn't like.
So that's what I'm saying, because I feel like that is an attack, right? And like, but that's what I mean. Like, it's like, I don't take offense to it, because like you're upset about something you don't have. And so you use a term to identify something you don't have. You know what I mean? So you are, that's right. Go get yours. Like what Funky Dineva say, he is made of clay. Right, go get it. Like, listen. So I just, and maybe that's why I can be open minded in that kind of way, and even in the way that I don't even know, because I don't think I'm defending Dr. Heavenly at all. What I am saying is, like, when you do have to confront somebody about something, you need to be clear about what you're confronting them about, because you don't get to clean it up just on this end. When, like, that's my point, that she has this deep bedded belief about it. So the sorry's just gonna keep coming, because she's gonna keep saying it. If Dr. Greg continue to be on that show, she gonna say it again. If Dr. Scott continue to be on that show, she gonna say it again. Like, I mean, because those are the people that she come from with it. Like, it's just it. Thank you, honey, for the follow. I appreciate it. So for me, I just don't like starting in the middle. Go to the beginning. like if you're gonna fix an issue, what they say, you cut it, how you kill a snake, cut it off at the head. You gotta go to the root of an issue. And that is the root, is that, like, I remember Dr. Andy bringing it up for Real Housewives of Atlanta on a reunion. I can't remember the season, but he addressed those ladies because it is something very familiar in our culture that when you want to attack a man, you attack them by referencing that they may be homosexual.
That's when Kim Fields was on there. And
okay, yes, that's right. That's right. That was her season because it was her husband that they was doing that with. That's correct.
I thought that was horrible. Yes,
that was correct. And so, I was glad. But I mean, I was glad he had addressed it there. But again, it seemed like that conversation really didn't cross over anywhere else. But but that is what we're dealing with in a nutshell. You know what I mean? In a nutshell. And that's it. And I don't know, I don't know, I don't know if it's okay to use a term like real man. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah. We live in a time where I feel like people are very sensitive about things too. Whereas when I come along, things were totally different. I'm 52. So things that people, you just even see on TV. Shoot, if you watch Archie Bunker, they say,
baby, I was telling my kids, like, some of the stuff we used to watch on TV.
Yes,
we talk about being canceled, like.
And you can look on the Jefferson, Georgia. Well, George California's Honkies and stuff.
Talk about that being canceled, honey. Like,
girl, so it wouldn't fly anywhere. So, I do have a little clip of Greg and his new song.
Oh Lord Jesus, here we go.
And
Greg has little man syndrome. And see, and that, like, this is, see, I think if Wendy was on there, she might be able to attack it, because you kind of got to be intelligent. And let's say what Dr. Heavenly does is go for the low-hanging fruit. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But Dr. G has little man syndrome. So he is going to overperform in whatever it is he tries to do, because he has got to make himself feel tall. Okay, because he is not.
Girl,
let's hit his mess, honey. Let's hit his mess.
There we go.
I got back from the trip. I was in an emotional space. I had to figure out how to kind of process my emotion. So plugged up and came up with a little melody.
Is it a peace offering?
It's a statement piece. Set me free. I'm gonna be free from the booze. I gotta be free. Now I'm free, just me. But I cannot stand for somebody to love me.
Girl, so I went through and I did a remix. And I said, every time I heard that song, I thought of Eddie Murphy, honey. So
the party of the time.
No, look, I'm about to show this, and tell me what you think. Oh Lord, Jesus, hold on, girl. I'm just sitting here looking at the dang on thing. Now, ain't this about nothing now?
Okay,
girl, I'm sitting here looking at the god dang on thing. Okay, here we go.
In an emotional space, I had to figure out how to kind of process my emotion. So plugged up and came up with a little melody.
Is it a peace offering?
It's a statement piece. Set me free. I wanna be free from the food. I gotta be free. Now, everything just been. But I cannot stand for somebody alone.
I don't ever want you to hurt my feelings to the point where I have to write a song and show it to some people. Don't do that to me now.
Oh, God.
Don't do it to me.
I wanna get on with it right now. I got a brand new right now. I wanna move to it right now. Here I am trying to stand for justice. And so the next thing you know, I ended up picking up the guitar and these lyrics just started to come out. That was an authentic piece of work. They came straight from the heart. That's all I gotta say.
Good job, Gregory. You did a great job.
Okay, sexual chocolate.
That boy good. Hey, that boy good.
That boy good. Now, Scott and I, we have grounds to press charges with Gregory for having to listen to this goddamn song.
Set me free, man.
Okay.
Set me free from the bullshit.
I think we see your position.
Brother.
Honey child. Listen.
All I can do is see, I can see Eddie Murphy or the Wayans brothers.
Yeah, that's the perfect going back to that Coming to America scene. Okay, like that boy can sing. Okay, but honey, and listen, you know when you sent me that clip, I said I know Dr. Scott ain't laughing because honey,
Girl.
your song was not any better. Listen, y'all, I need to take a potty break. Give me 1 minute. Okay.
Yes. So Dr. G, being a psychiatrist, and he seriously gave them all this ammunition to use on him. This is going to be on the scene from this evening when they air it. That he's singing this song to Quad to set him free. And the image of him and Sweet Tea sitting there Sweet Tea has a straight face on. Ain't no way in the world I would have been able to hold that straight face because it was just hilarious, and it was so bad. I'd have been crying and laughing all over the floor because I can't believe he took himself serious on this song. Because he took himself so serious, he even posted on his Instagram too. This song. I feel like Dr. G is really working for Sweet Tea. He tried to make sure she stays in the group and have a storyline or whatever, because to me, this is truly funny. But I would have an issue if it was my husband singing to his ex-wife to set him free. And he said he just want to be free from the bullshit.
And listen, to your point, I thought he was when he got the divorce, right?
I'm like, what?
And also to another point is you was free from the bull before you signed back up to come on the show. But you know, and this, so going back to this reality TV bubble and this little matrix that we caught up in, because the issue is that those people turned on them. You know, he really did. They convinced them that they would usher them back in and that Quad would be out. And that didn't happen. So what we're seeing is instead of him being able to address them with that, maybe he'll do it at the reunion. But instead of being able to address them directly with like y'all y'all bogus, y'all two-faced, you know what I mean? Like, woo, you are really feeding into this storyline of you still being caught up on Quad, which I guess has some truth to it because here we are. You know what I mean? Like, right, you picked up a guitar and the first person you thought to make a song for was your ex-wife?
And she said, good job, Gregory. Good. Girl. Okay, my husband. Gotta
Honey,
snatch
by the
that
time we
goddamn
got done
microphone.
with that damn with that doggone song, it'd have been me in the mini coupe. Getting the hell out of there.
I'm like, oh my goodness. When I seen that
Oh, these locks
one
is
morning, I got up at 6 o'clock in the morning. Uh-oh. And when I seen it, I said, that song has been in my mind, living rent-free all week. I'm like, set him free, please, so he can set me free. Because
it is not the new Gia, like just waking up in the morning, thinking to myself, like
I don't know, but you know what? Who would you say has been the most valuable player this season so far? To me, it's Dr. G. Uh-huh. I think Dr. G. He's been into it with Damon.
I mean,
he's been in everybody's like storyline almost.
I mean, I guess if that's what it is, then you're right. You know what I'm saying? Like, and there is not any other conversation going on about anything else. They're not even talking about Toya taking her money back or something at the they let Phaedra off the hook. So yeah, I mean, listen, Married to Medicine made a mistake last year with the bringing Greg and Sweet Tea back in. I don't know. I guess it was Heavenly's bright idea. I don't know who she was able to take that to and why they took that also. But like I think I've said this previously about the dynamics of Married to Medicine and why they still operate and function in the housewife universe with the housewife formula, because they do have different relationships that we are privy to and we get to see. They've set themselves apart, whether it's the redheaded stepchild effect or what. They don't quite have the same. They're different than the housewives. The show has managed to set themselves apart from the housewives. Maybe it's the professions. Maybe it's that that particular strand that sets them apart. We enjoy, like, a part of their trips that I like is seeing them go out into the community and do medical work, like for the underprivileged, if they, in the towns that they're visiting. Like it's so refreshing, and of course you got to have a little bit of drama. So, but going back to, they made a mistake with bringing Greg and Sweet Tea on. And listen, Quad might be a mistake to continue to stay. Maybe, and I thought about this probably later on this week, because I'm kind of advocating for Quad to move on. Not saying that means Greg and Sweet Tea need to stay, but I don't think Quad fits in with these girls. I think, and not because she's not a doctor or the wife of the doctor, I think she just has a different personality, and like she don't mess well with the girls. She don't hang out with them outside of filming. And so I do think for her, she sticks out like a sore thumb to me when it's time for her to come around, for them to have these conversations about working things out. And you know what I mean? Like, because it's like, yeah, it's just phony. It's just, it's just tape time. And so I'm advocating for her to leave, but I wish they could go back and act like that season never happened, and we never was introduced to Sweet Tea and Dr. G again. Like, we just got that information on Instagram, see the pictures to the wedding, kind of give them congratulations and let them go ahead and deal with whatever comes next for them in their marriage. Like, I didn't need to see them. And even when I knew he was getting married, I was not one of the people that was like, oh, they should come on Married to Medicine. No, that is not the type of drama that I like. Lighthearted drama. I really don't like the, because in real life, who does want to do that? No one. Me.
No one. And then also, far as they are concerned, it seems to be they are having the most issues with like their psyche, their mental, how they are feel like they're being harassed or whatever. And like you said, she didn't but she's not knowing the whatever sweet tea anyways. So I really feel like, yeah, she probably definitely needs to step aside. But probably right now, shoot, that government job ain't probably guaranteed like that. And this is like some good money.
In general, who really does want to walk away from and whether like she probably on the low scale of a paycheck, but still like it's very minimum work. But it kind of do go back to what we talk about too with, is it worth your mental anguish? You know what I mean? Like maybe not, you know what I mean? Because she doesn't seem to handle it well. I don't think, like, especially her and Greg having a new marriage. I think it probably would have worked out differently had they been married for about 3 years or so. It just kind of seemed like they were trying to repeat history with bringing Greg back, because he kind of came in with Quad in that same very similar situation. And I don't know if he was able to or not, but he didn't seem to prepare Sweet Tea. And again, I think she really, really was naive and lost under Dr. Heavenly, Jackie, and Simone kind of probably telling her that they would take her under their wing and make sure she was good and, look out for her. And Dr. Heavenly, listen, Dr. Jackie, I don't know what's up with Dr. Jackie, because I like Dr. Heavenly, but that's not the type of friend I want.
Oh no.
No. I don't want a friend who would produce me, and part of the producing is that you're gonna bring my ex-husband and his new wife, to come and film in my face. And then you're gonna try to present it to me like, and this is where Quad, kind of, you agree with it, you go along with it, you know what I mean? Like you find yourself in a position where somebody could entice you with the opportunity to stick it to Greg, and you like that? You know what I'm saying? Like you find yourself like, oh yeah, so that's questionable too. Like, why were you in this position where that's what's on your mind?
Yeah. I don't know, but I know tonight's episode, I think Sweet Tea is going to tell them they have to pick a side.
And that's unfortunate because we know what side they're going to pick.
Yeah. And it seems like Dr. Mimi went along. Because when we see like some of the lives they did after the filming and everything, that you see Dr. Mimi hanging with the ladies. Now I don't know
which side her bread is buttered on. Like, Sweet Tea is barely in the door. Like, she need one of those veterans to be on her side. So Mimi, even if she had went over on her side, it wouldn't have been a damn thing.
But Sweet Tea posted today a picture of her and Dr. Contessa, and I guess she's playing the song What About Your Friends? TLC. I'm like, oh.
And Dr. Contessa is what do you call it? Like an intention whore. Yeah, because she gonna be wherever. Like I tell y'all, and I don't know. Have you noticed this since you heard me say it about her, about how she gonna be anywhere the camera is, and like the whole scene can be going on, don't have anything to do with her. She is going to find a way to input herself right there, smack in the middle of it.
Yes. And I think that's why she dressed like that too. I think she dresses, they have the different types of scene. I think that's why she dresses the way she dressed, to be actually shown.
I think so too. Yeah. Yeah. Right. Like showing up at the pool the way she did. This not your first rodeo.
And her husband encouraging her. Yeah, you got to be sexy.
Well, because he gonna be the same way.
Yeah.
He walked his tail all the way across the room to go tell the man, talking about, what did he say?
You put
all
him to sleep.
Yeah, right. That was it. That was it. If you don't sit your attention seeking, now listen. You know what? That's funny that I didn't even think about this until I was about to say it. Maybe that's the pay. That's the it's not just you being in the episode. Maybe you have to have a speaking part.
maybe so. Maybe so.
Like maybe it's not just good enough for you to be a part of the scene, which would make sense, right? Because think about the parties and things that they might have and stuff. You know what I'm saying? So maybe that is why we see them. Hell, what the parkour they way into a thing.
I'm like, oh my goodness. Actor Contessa, I don't know.
Y'all let me know. Is that because we know that they get paid per episode? More than likely they get paid per episode, so that's why you, as a main cast member, you want to be in every episode. You want all the money, you know. But like I said, like they friend of and the next part is they trying to get back main cast. I don't even know why they would. See, that we go back to the attention seeking.
Yeah.
I don't even know why you would, because nobody has changed their mind about the way they feel about your marriage.
No.
And just because Dr. Greg and Sweet Tea is out here doing somersaults and flips and turning everything upside down, don't mean that you won't be back on the chopping block once they have been handled.
Yeah. That's right. That is right.
So I don't see it for Contessa. I never have, though. I have to be honest. I never have. I don't see it for Contessa.
Yes, I'm just interested how this season is going to end. And because Contessa had mentioned on the last episode that it's Sweet Tea versus everyone.
We see this, and again, and Dr. Contessa is a friend to no one, because when Sweet Tea left, now you here because of Sweet Tea, but when Sweet Tea left, you took your tail right on that boat with them other people. Right next to the person who you've been trying to body slam every time you see her.
I know. And that only makes it seem like what Dr. Heavenly said was true, that when they got into the argument at the rodeo ranch, and Dr. Heavenly said that's not this is a fake friendship, because Dr. Heavenly has said that Dr. Contessa didn't know her, and she didn't know why she was feeling why. And so yeah, because if that's supposed to be her only her real friend, then she should have got on the boat with Sweet Tea. They want to be in the thick of things, honey.
That's why I said they're gonna parkour their way into a thing, baby.
She's, I'm about to get this check.
I don't care if I'm way on the other side of the beach. By the time you look up, you're gonna see me. And not just see me, I'm gonna be dead smack. I'm gonna be so in the scene, I'm gonna start arguing with the person who was arguing with the other person. Okay.
Exactly, because even at Toya's purse baby shower, Dr. Heavenly said that Quad and Dr. Contessa got into it there. She they didn't air it. She said, but they got into it.
What they get about, I wonder.
The same old shit that not like about Heavenly.
Contessa? I ain't know
that. It was because of like about the situation, what happened at the rodeo at the ranch, about Quad saying, which I believe she did say to Dr. Heavenly, that was a fake friendship. It's got all about that and about Heavenly talking about her husband or whatever. And they had a big falling out there. But she said it didn't air it. She said because it didn't make sense, you know, in this whole everything. We're doing something else, and then you're talking about something from a couple of days ago, and then just went all the way off the rails. So I don't know, but yeah. I don't know, Contessa, she trying to make sure if there's a season, what is it, season 12 or season, what season are we on?
She trying to come back to main cast. What season are we on?
I think 11. It's 11.
Yeah, so it'll be season 12.
Yeah, she trying to make sure she got a spot on there. I'm surprised they ain't stuck her because she seemed like main cast now. Is she in every scene? She's on every.
I can't tell like because she's so out of place when she do be in the scene because none of this stuff involve her.
Is they gonna take her? Wait a minute. Is they gonna take Phaedra's pictures out and put in Dr. Contessa when Phaedra finally leaves? Because I think she's on this episode talking to Dr. Jackie.
I don't know. Maybe
because she said she don't want to be around there. Her last scene should have been when she got on that plane. I wouldn't have did no more.
Yeah, I was sure that I thought that probably would have been, honey. Like y'all like that. But let's talk about this. Even though, so listen, guys, we have done most of the topics we was gonna talk about for our weekly wrap up, right? And hot topics. But we are going live, the three of us, myself, Word on the Curb, and Housewives from a Housewife. We are going live Wednesday evening at 7 o'clock to talk about Real Housewives of Atlanta. So just to kick the little bit of that off, let's talk about Phaedra returning. How do you feel about that? How do we feel about Phaedra returning? I'm a little confused by some of the excitement because I'm not excited, but I just want to hear like why do we want Phaedra back on Real Housewives of Atlanta? And she gave nothing to Married to Medicine, like zero.
I don't know what her storyline is going to be. Is she going to talk about Married to Medicine over there? I doubt it. And was she going to have Apollo pull up over there and Shireen?
About what?
I don't know. I don't know what she's going to give. She's going to shake her ass a little bit when they up under that waterfall. And that's about it. And cha. And
because she's not necessarily what I consider to be an authentic person or even an authentic like personality.
Yeah.
Well, on one end, I think maybe the push is to, even though nobody's mentioned it, so I don't think that they may be hoping nobody brings up a conversation between herself and Portia where that rumor with Kandi exists. But I'm telling y'all, and I mean, like, so on these lives every Wednesday, every time from the moment Phaedra enters into the Housewife of Atlanta universe, and until we get the conversation, or I feel like it was even genuine, which I'm thinking that's going to be hard to do, you're going to hear me repeat the same thing. Is I don't want to hear anything from Phaedra that is not pertaining to that conversation and leaving me with something that I feel is at least genuine and I can halfway believe. You know what I mean? Not to say that I was going to bring it up. I got the feeling, I have a strong feeling that you're right.
They're not bringing that up. Candy's not on the show. Unless, Shamia do it. But I don't think, because,
Yeah. But see, and I'm thinking, even with Kandi being off the show, that's okay, because at this point, there doesn't need to be a conversation between Kandi and Phaedra, because Kandi has made herself very clear about what she's saying in any type of relationship with Phaedra. But I think with Portia and Phaedra, it does seem like I don't know. Maybe we wasn't included on how the way she got that information. I don't know, but I'm not interested in seeing Phaedra, fake around.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm just not. And I'm confused with the people who are excited for that. I'm confused about that.
Girl, all they're doing is getting excited about that old ass read she did to Kenya.
What was the
And that,
read? Oh, about
remember the sperm bank.
pedaling around, honey, like so that you can have a kid. Now check that, okay? Now check that. Like,
Because
okay.
I don't know what else she's going to bring at all. Because she, like you said, she did nothing for Married to Medicine, and that Reiki, that was a fool.
And listen, not even being judgmental, because I'm okay with, like, I'm a woman of a particular age. My kids are young adults. You know, I'm at the place where I'm back outside. But I'm not interested in seeing a middle-aged woman kind of want to relive her 20s.
Girl, what you talking about?
You know, I am interested in seeing, like, I like what Cynthia has to bring in that realm of that type of story. You know what I mean? From her, I like what Cynthia has to bring in that. It's a little bit of sexy, it's classy, it's, you know what I'm saying? But you know, Phaedra is real thottish, and I'm gonna just get on my judgmental stuff. Your kid's still young, girl. Put your fucking clothes back on.
Exactly, honey. She didn't trade it in the prayer cloth for the thong, honey.
Yeah. Talk about, you know, I keep me a prayer cloth. Well, you have to. That's as high as them skirts are. Yeah, you better.
Girl.
You better. Just throw it on the bottom, so you ain't got to worry about it.
I'm just like, yeah, I feel like she's going through a midlife crisis. Because, I mean, she's like 51.
I think so, yeah. And I'm not even trying to age shame.
But it's certain things.
It's a time and a place for things to be appropriate. You know what I mean? And I find that sometimes she is not.
Yeah. I feel like she tries too hard.
I do too. I think with Portia she toddles a line. I enjoy the line that she teeters, because it's not all day, every day. You know what I mean? But then it can, you know what I mean? I enjoy that line that she teeters, but she's at an age where I think it's okay. Her daughter is young enough. And like I said, she kind of goes back and forth. She got her Fashion Nova wear. She got her, everything is still tight, but, you know, covered up, I guess.
Yeah. So I don't, Phaedra. And, you know, Phaedra has boys in their middle school and high school, aren't they?
And that's what, like me with boys, it was something that just subconsciously, you know, boys are boys. So I just didn't want to be inappropriate in a sense of where my sons are listening to classmates or friends, or, you know what I mean, have you know, spicy things to want to say, you know, about their mama. Like, nobody want to hear that. You know what I mean? Like, yeah.
What the white kids just say, somebody's mama's a MILF.
Exactly. Right.
So I don't know, but Phaedra, I don't know what she's gonna offer, but I'm excited for the season to start next week.
I'm definitely excited for the season. You know, I'm always here for freshness. Did you even watch Real Housewives of New York?
I only caught it like I think it was a day in December. I was watching some old repeats. I've never watched that show.
Okay.
I am aware that they did have a shakeup in a cast, but I never watched it.
Well, they kind of went wrong in the second season, because the first season I was like, oh, this is so wonderful. Like, it was so fresh and nice. And then this second season, honey, it was like, where are them old bitches, old drunk bitches at?
So what happened on the second season?
Oh, lady, it's this lady named Brian, honey. She is a troublemaker. And she's a fibber. She exaggerates, and she really, so just go fast forward to the end of the season. Because I think some people overplay some of this stuff because they feel like this is what they need to do. you know, like to make things interesting, to keep getting called back. But what she did going to the end of the season is she used her SA event or assault, and she kind of weaponized it against one of the other castmates by kind of accusing her of like knowing this information, but then saying something offensive to her in reference to this information. But turns out that she actually wasn't sure if this lady knew this information or not. So she kind of at one point like she gave this information out, she spewed it out because she emotionally unstable. And so all the castmates were kind of like, oh my God, like I can't believe, you know, like she would do that. And then she comes back around and she's like, well, you know, maybe she actually didn't hear, you know, like what I told her. So like she kind of saying is like, maybe she actually don't know. And so all the other ladies was like kind of pissed off with her because she like, why would you come and tell us that type of devastating stuff? You know what I mean? Push that off on that girl lady. And then you turn around like, oh, you know what? Maybe she didn't. You know what I mean? Like now it's not a big deal. Yeah, that girl she is problematic. And this is the other like very, at least for me, key component. I didn't do any, I think I reviewed just a synopsis of why, my opinion of why they did the reboot or the recasting. But back with Brian, oh shit, I just lose my thought, y'all. Y'all got Brian being problematic. Because this was something that I should have actually did a review about. So Brian is also, she's from Indiana. She's from South Bend, Indiana, which I thought was interesting as we got introduced to her. She is biracial as well. However, of course, biracial, she is fair skinned. She has freckles and red hair. Okay. I'm only giving you this visual of her because this is the problematic.
So she's biracial with colors. What colors is like what? She's black and white or
black
what?
and white. Yeah.
Okay. All right.
And so I'm only giving you that type of visual about her because this is the part that gets problematic with her. Because again, she is biracial. So this is an outdated term, but it's the best way for me to explain. She is what a person would consider passing, right? You wouldn't necessarily know it until she told you. Now, maybe for some people, when you seeing a person in person, I tell people this all the time, like you know a person of color generally because there's a texture to their skin. It's more than the color. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
like
exactly. I always say that.
It's more than the color. There's a texture, to the skin. And so you can kind of tell a person of color, because I'm not saying that they will be African American, but right, so like I say, so I'm just like I say, that's a dated term, but hey, y'all know that's what it is. That's what it's called. And so as she's able to and had done so, but then she had these pockets, because there are times where it benefits you to attach yourself with the struggle of being a Black woman, right?
I gotta look her face.
She's had these comments and these instances where, she's like, as a Black woman, now she's a Black woman, then Uba is, she might be Somalian, I can't remember, but, and Uba is dark skinned, okay? She told Uber, and Uber, this is what I don't think people really grasp about foreigners and about the way that they communicate and behave, especially when they're trying to argue with somebody in a language that's not their native language.
Yes.
But Uber has the tendency to blow up. Okay, I don't care. Like, she blows up. And again, nobody has to deal with that type of thing from people if you don't feel like you want to. I'm just giving you the around. So Brand goes to this lady Uber, who she, says is her friend, and she's trying to look out for her. And she tells Uber that she didn't want her to come off as an angry black woman. And yeah, right. I know, mouth drop, because it's like this coming from you.
Oh,
As if
I'm
you
looking it up.
could.
I got a
Like
picture
as
here.
if you could.
Is this her? Let's see. Hold on. I don't know. I'm gonna pull it up. You said
Okay,
she has red hair, right?
Huh?
She has red hair, you said?
Yeah. It's like, it's reddish, like a reddish brown.
Okay. Oh, so go ahead. I'm
And
listening.
she got this, she has this goofy, like, oh, I'm so dumb, but I'm really smart, and I do have such a smart job. Like, she has this playful banter. She flirt with anything that might have a penis, honey. And so, and that's where it came up with. I think Uber got into an argument with her, and she kind of spewed out. She said, "Well, you probably basically gave a blowjob to get this job." Yes, that's her. Okay, so it's not red. Excuse me, it's brown.
Yeah, whatever. Depends. Yeah.
Right, but do you see what I mean?
Yes. Uh-huh.
Okay, so this is somebody who would have to tell you, and like I said, when we up close, you might be able to see something different, but I don't even think so. Like, I don't even think so. Just her hair color alone doesn't, you know what I mean?
Yeah, but her hair, I'm gonna tell you one thing about some of these people. Like, I have one in my a little boy that I'm acquainted with, and well, he's mostly white, but he looks
That's so funny.
All the way. He's blonde hair, blue eyes, but actually his mom used to thought when he was a baby that he was albino, because he's that white. But to me, Brand hair looks a little heavy.
Well, it's thick, and that's what I mean by, if you saw her in person, you might have a different thing. But what I also mean, so like, this is going back to the people of color, phrase, because again, she associated herself with angry black women, and going back to what I said about passing. See, like, people of color can still pass, because what they're not associating her with is being Black or African American.
Yes.
Because you can have that type of hair and, and be something else, of color, and not necessarily Black.
That's Italian. That's what they used to say.
Exactly. Yeah. So that's what I mean about her really being, in my eyes and in the way I view her, very problematic in that way. And what it was reminiscent of is the shakeup that happened with Ebony K. Williams.
Okay.
And all of that. Maybe it was me having PTSD about that whole thing, and now here we come with this girl, because like, this didn't come out last season. The first season felt like a breath of fresh air. She seemed like a bubbly girl. She let us know that she was biracial in the first season. She gave a lot of information about her past. But look, I just thought she was like some young lost girl. You know what I'm saying? Like, just trying to figure it out. That little Mary Tyler Moore type of deal. Like that.
Okay, yeah. You said Mary
That's
Tyler
the way
Moore.
I kind of saw her. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And so I thought, cute, fun. Again, the other ladies, they had Jenae Lyons on, which I really didn't know much about her till she got on here. But big ups to Jenae Lyons. I didn't realize she was dressing all the important, women in the celebrity world. Michelle Obama being one of them. But anyway, so it was fresh. Nobody, even though Jenae Lyons was probably the most known or the most famous out of the group of girls, but nobody was really on, this level of playing field than the other in the housewife universe. Maybe the pockets might be different, but as far as everybody on their first season, everybody has to come into this and figure out if the people gonna like them. And sometimes that is nice to watch. I don't think we're gonna get that with Real Housewives of Atlanta and with this group that they selected because they really just needed a total rehaul. One other person that I am not looking forward to is Drew Sidor.
Yeah. She's a liar.
She definitely is. And here, I just saw something with her Instagram. We're gonna talk about this more Wednesday, y'all.
Yeah.
But I don't know if it was one of the kids' birthdays. They was out having a family day or whatever it is. But she had her pictures with her, the kids, and we see Ralph. I believe Ralph also is still living in the house. We might not see him on camera with Real Housewives of Atlanta, but I mean that's going on. They're not officially divorced, and I don't believe he has officially left the house. But he's
in the basement.
Right. This is what I thought about when I saw that photo. I said, is she gonna be the new Mia? Or was Mia her?
Shut up. Girl.
I don't know.
Yeah, they got the same characteristics.
Okay.
I don't know, because I don't know. But I'm not looking forward to seeing Drew either.
Yeah, no. But no. But that's the little story on Miss Brand. And like I said, she ended up being very problematic this second season, at least to me. And again, it might be my own PTSD as a viewer. I really think a lot of people agree. Most people agree because of the SA situation. But I clocked her way before that.
Oh.
Yeah, I clocked her way before that.
Well, I don't know. Maybe I have to. So they're done filming.
Yes, they are done.
Okay. Mm-hmm. So I'm just looking at all her pictures on my phone. I see a picture of her with her hair in a natural state, and it's not straight, honey.
It's curly. Yeah. It's definitely curly. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So that's why I said her hair looks heavy to me. But well.
But you got to know like that part, because it's all types of hair textures in a sense, and where like that's what I mean, like that. So that's why I say that she's passing.
Yeah, she is. She's passing because when I did, I think I sat down and I've seen a little, called it in passing, but only one I just knew was black was the
foreign
lady,
right? Yeah, the ones that you can see.
I thought the rest of them was white, and then so I didn't even pay her no attention.
And that's the other thing, because she presents, she occupies that space. That's the problematic part about it. Like you occupy that space, and then when it's convenient for you to associate. And it's only the times that thing, you know what I mean? Like, how are you talking to this African woman about appearing to be an angry Black woman? You don't even know, stop it.
Yeah.
So, I was telling you. So, yeah, she said, well, you probably gave a blowjob to get this gig, to basically get on the show or something. Like, that was her, like, she spewed that out at her. So, Brienne took that comment and jumped off the cliff with it, dug deep in her bag, honey, and pulled out a bag of tricks about Uber. She couldn't believe Uber had said that to her because she knew that she had been SA prior, and she knows something that she's still dealing with. And, why would she say? Now, here's the other spiel with Brienne. First season, her claim to fame was that, everybody always assumes that she's sleeping around and that, she gets her money from some man. So she has to prove that she's smart. And I think she works like in tech or something.
Oh, okay.
But, she's like this girl who doesn't, she's not aware of herself. Right, because like I said, she's gonna flirt with anybody that is a Y chromosome. And it doesn't matter if they married, she gonna flirt with you right, sitting right with your wife. You know, like she just is, and gives off this sex positive type of attitude.
Oh.
I mean, yeah, and not to say that it was okay for Uber to say like, well, you probably gave a blowjob. But no, I'm not saying that was okay for her to say that. But what I am saying is, I don't like when people go do that like extreme stuff. You know, like what she said to you, and you know why she said it, because you like literally 6 hours ago, you looked like you was about to give the lifeguard a blowjob on the beach, like she was like throwing herself at this young like lifeguard. And it was
really?
cringy to watch. You know, that she might have been playing, but it was cringy. And so yeah, you know, like she went to an extreme place. And like I said, and so in turn, you are exposing this information, this horrible, horrific story of some guy that she, you know, knows personally, that she can't go, you know, feel like she can't go and file charges on and everything. But you're gonna try to attack her with that because like it's not even balanced. You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly. I don't know.
Yeah, that's what made her problematic. But yeah, so we'll see how they come. Well, at least for me, I guess we'll see how they come in next season. But back on to again, make sure y'all like this video. If you have been here with us, if you are still watching, the video should be liked. Over on TikTok, y'all make sure y'all go over and subscribe to my YouTube channel. Okay, we are going live on YouTube Wednesday at 7:00 to discuss RHOA. Okay, Sweet 16, everything in between. We are excited for the new season. Tonight is Real Housewives of Potomac and Married to Medicine. We are going to be watching that. We're not going live, but I will be live tomorrow with Housewives from a Housewife. So again, make sure you subscribe to my YouTube channel. Hit the bell notification. Like the videos that you go and watch, okay, so you can get more videos and more videos from other creators. I am on YouTube with Word on the Curve. Make sure y'all go to her channel and follow her as well. We are trying to grow our channels, okay?
Yes, we are. All righty, but so yeah, girl, it's 7:10.
7:10.
Yeah, so try to get ready for the third part of the reunion for
third part
for Potomac, and
which if it's the third part, like if Mia leaves early, Mia's just being a big baby, because at this point she probably could have just stayed. I got like, you know, she just is so. Oh, why we on the phone? Why we on the line? Did you notice? Did you notice? I know Mia is probably going crazy. So last week, Mia went live after Real Housewives of Potomac went off. She went live with G. I hung in there for about 10 minutes, y'all, and then I had to go. Like, I couldn't take it no more. I had to go, honey. Like, whatever. But the gist of the live is basically to have had G on to explain why he exposed all of this information, and that he was mad, and that it was him, and Mia didn't have anything to do with it, and she is an excellent mother, and this is why I didn't have time for the bull. But then we noticed that the next day, and I guess with Karen being sentenced, this still kind of goes into it, but nobody picked that up. None of the bloggers picked up at all. And that's been all freaking week, y'all. I'm like, I know Mia is like at home, probably ready to jump out the window. Like, not real.
Girl, because they know she be lying. It's Mia be lying. And she got the way that they came on the reunion, and how Giselle and Wendy tag teamed her ass and said all three of them was in on it. What do we expect? You know, Ray. I mean,
well,
not Ray.
She tried, honey. She tried. And she found out that people not here for it.
No, they're not. You know, no, it was quite pathetic. And She was trying to produce something. She had her side chick, her side man, and her husband.
And then, I thought, and now the best friend is coming up. She pregnant by somebody we don't know, but the last person we saw was her PP that we know she was having sex with. Like, girl, you and your friends, like, take y'all toys and go home.
Girl, maybe it's ink, baby.
She said it's nobody we seen before. I'm going to go ahead and let her have it with that. I'm going to let her have it. All I'm going to say is birds of a feather flock together.
Because she was just so in love with PP. When did they?
That's what I'm saying. Like that. Again, here it is. This is your best friend. This is the situation you got to talk about your season. And then here come your best friend with this situation going on with her. And not saying she clearly knows, I guess, who her baby daddy is, because that's what she said. But but what's the timeline here?
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to figure out. When were they filming?
I have no idea.
Well, I guess.
Yeah, that's what I said, honey.
Well, I'm about to bid y'all guys a good evening. And thanks for joining our live. And like, share, and subscribe. And please chat with us in the comments. And you'll see us again on Wednesday as we go down memory lane on Raw, the whole 16 seasons. Well, 15 seasons anyway.
Right.
And again, we'll collaborate again on each Wednesday at 7:00.
That's right.
Thank you for your time and good evening.
Bye-bye.